Iraqi Dinar today, latest news $/mid dollar. We are coming to you with an update that has sent a tremor of excitement and analysis through the entire community of those following the financial trajectory of the Iraqi Dinar IQD. For many months, the discourse has centered on finding tangible evidence of Iraq's commitment to stepping onto a new, modern financial stage. This search for concrete action has often been met with more speculation than certainty, but today we may be looking at a significant shift in that landscape, driven by insights highlighted by prominent commentator Frank 26. This development centers on a major and often technical milestone reportedly achieved by the Central Bank of Iraq (CBI), an international certification known as ISO 301. At first mention, the term ISO 301 might not capture the immediate attention that discussions around currency values do, but its implications for Iraq's financial future are profound, especially when connected to the nation's long-term exchange rate outlook. ISO certifications are the global gold standard, representing adherence to strict international requirements concerning quality, security, and efficiency. They are, in essence, a signal to the entire global banking world that an institution has reached a specific level of technical and procedural readiness. Understanding this connection is vital to grasping why analysts and long-time dinar watchers are now suggesting this achievement could represent a genuine turning point in Iraq's economic narrative. This entire report is designed to decode this technical information into clear, accessible language, ensuring both newcomers and veteran observers can follow the details and the potential consequences of this highly anticipated move. The renewed attention comes from a quiet but steady effort by the Central Bank of Iraq to systematically upgrade its entire operational infrastructure to facilitate seamless international participation. Frank 26's recent commentary specifically emphasizes this institutional push, suggesting that Iraq is actively moving toward gaining deeper and more respected recognition within the global banking fraternity. Achieving a milestone like the ISO 301 certification from this viewpoint is not just a bureaucratic tick-box exercise, but a concrete demonstration that the CBI systems and protocols are now mature enough to align with the complex demands of cross-border financial operations. International integration demands the utmost in transparency, cybersecurity, digital system reliability, and stringent cross-border compliance. And for years, the primary question surrounding any potential exchange rate adjustment has been Iraq's structural and technical readiness. The discussion surrounding the ISO 301 certification provides a strong rationale for those who support a more optimistic reassessment of Iraq's financial timeline. It introduces a tangible, third-party validated piece of evidence that suggests Iraq has been diligently addressing the systemic weaknesses that have historically hindered its full participation in the global economy. While the wider expectations surrounding the IQD remain a topic of intense debate, the mere existence of this discussion is already shaping the collective response of the community, pushing observers to analyze Iraq's forward progression through a more favorable and objective lens. This is a moment where the focus shifts from purely political or speculative developments to measurable, technical, and institutional progress, which often dictates the speed and security of financial reforms. Delving deeper into the functional purpose of ISO 301, the widespread excitement within the IQD community becomes entirely understandable. These types of ISO standards are the bedrock upon which global financial institutions build their trust, as they ensure all participating entities meet strict benchmarks for security, compliance, and transaction integrity. Specifically, ISO 301 relates to the standardized processes that allow a national currency to be reliably recognized, securely tracked, and exchanged across various international platforms. It acts as an authoritative global approval stamp, essentially communicating to the world's major financial markets that this banking system adheres to globally recognized secure procedures and is structurally prepared to handle complex, internationally connected financial transactions. Iraq. This level of certification can be rightly interpreted as a major sign of financial maturation and a powerful demonstration that its key financial institutions are proactively meeting global expectations. This is the precise reason why many within the Dinar community view this milestone as exceptionally significant. They see it as the vital international bridge that connects years of internal systemic upgrades to the actual global stage. This crucial connection is invariably the point where anticipation regarding potential exchange rate adjustments and broader economic reforms often reaches its highest intensity. The technical foundation is perceived as finally being solidified, making the next steps appear less theoretical and more practically achievable in the eyes of many enthusiasts. Another crucial detail underscored by Frank 26's analysis is the sheer duration of Iraq's financial modernization efforts. The CBI hasn't just recently started these reforms. For many years, the institution has been engaged in a major effort to completely overhaul its digital banking systems, significantly increase its cybersecurity protections, and implement sophisticated new electronic financial procedures. These multi-year efforts are specifically designed to bolster both the internal efficiency and the external functionality of the nation's financial structure. Proponents of the IQD believe that these systematic upgrades serve a dual purpose. They modernize the domestic economy and, critically, they enhance Iraq's standing and relationship with major global partners, international investors, and major financial bodies. With the ISO milestone now drawing widespread attention, many observers are concluding that this achievement serves as powerful validation that those years of meticulous system upgrades were all working toward a distinct and predetermined target. Frank 26's commentary lends considerable weight to the view that Iraq has been adhering to a detailed, clear roadmap, and this international certification was a prerequisite step that needed to be definitively secured before any major, publicly noticeable economic shift could realistically take place. Whether the actual timeline for such a financial shift is imminent or remains further out is a matter of ongoing, fervent debate. But what is undisputed is that Iraq has been taking numerous visible and measurable steps to enhance its financial stability, global connectivity, and long-term economic potential. The situation gains an additional layer of intrigue when observing the intense reaction from individual IQD holders across social media, online groups, and financial forums, where a constant stream of analyses, hopes, and expectations is being shared. For many community members, this ISO milestone is being heralded as the strongest, most substantive sign of progress they have witnessed in a long period. This achievement is often coupled with the prevailing idea that Iraq has been strategically and intentionally maneuvering toward a globally integrated economy in the lead up to 2025. This year in particular has frequently been cited as a critical financial transition period for Iraq, given its extensive national economic plans, wide-ranging digital modernization efforts, and fundamental economic restructuring projects. Supporters within the community view the progress on ISO 301 certification as fitting seamlessly into this established transition timeline. The resulting surge in community energy is palpable, with message boards overflowing with discussions and theories about what immediate actions might follow this achievement. A segment of the community maintains a cautious optimism, properly emphasizing the need to wait for definitive official confirmation from recognized authorities. Conversely, others feel strongly that all the complex pieces of the long-awaited financial puzzle are finally and irrefutably aligning. Regardless of their position, the notable surge in community interest is undeniable, marking one of the most active periods of discussion the IQD community has experienced this year. One of the most intensely discussed aspects of this update is the concept of exchange rate timing, a phrase that instantly generates electricity within the community. And that is exactly what has happened. Frank 26's detailed breakdown has reportedly suggested that the internal scheduling for certain significant financial steps within Iraq may already be solidified and in motion. It is critically important to maintain a realistic perspective here. Internal planning does not automatically translate to immediate public action or announcement. However, it does provide tangible evidence that Iraq is actively organizing its internal financial structure in preparation for a potential future change. This notion of timelines being meticulously discussed behind closed doors creates a massive wave of anticipation for dinar holders. Proponents believe that the convergence of an international certification, verifiable system upgrades, and highly organized internal planning are strong indicators that Iraq is aligning its financial movements precisely with global expectations and requirements. However, those on the cautious side are quick to remind the community that any internal timelines are inherently flexible and subject to change, evolution, or unexpected delays. Even with this necessary caution, the sheer energy generated by the idea of a structured internal schedule has transformed this into one of the most frequently and intensely debated updates of the current year, providing a significant boost to community engagement. The complexity of conversation deepens further when the concept of tier-based exchanges is brought back into focus within the online communities. Terms like Tier 4B are frequently used to refer to individual currency holders or private investors who are anticipating and waiting for structured, actionable guidance on how an exchange process might be managed, should new exchange rates ever be introduced. Frank 26's recent commentary has strongly revived these precise discussions, suggesting that the newly acquired internal readiness and structured systems could eventually allow financial institutions to organize and execute structured processes tailored for different groups of currency holders. While no official public announcements have been made, the mere possibility of systemic movement is enough to reignite speculation about how these tiered exchange processes might ultimately unfold. Supporters of the concept are quick to emphasize that tiered systems are a common and pragmatic practice in global banking, serving as an effective means to ensure that high volumes of transactions remain orderly, secure, and manageable. Conversely, critics advise extreme caution, reiterating the essential point that no official, actionable confirmation has been provided by the Central Bank of Iraq or any recognized government authority. Nevertheless, the topic has clearly regained significant momentum, adding a crucial layer of practical intrigue to the evolving situation and maintaining the community's high level of engagement in predicting the possible mechanics of future financial actions. Another crucial element highlighted in this update is the concept of liquidity preparation. Should a major financial change, such as an exchange rate adjustment, ever be implemented, commercial banks and the central bank would require substantial liquidity to ensure they could cover a high volume of exchanges without risking systemic instability. The current discussions strongly suggest that Iraq is actively coordinating with various international and domestic financial channels to ensure it possesses the necessary capacity to support a fully modernized and highly functional banking environment. This includes readiness in digital systems, cross-border functionality, and the ability to manage a potential surge in investor activity and currency exchanges. Those following the situation interpret this focused preparation as yet another powerful indicator that Iraq is proactively strengthening the foundational pillars of its financial future. Liquidity is universally recognized as one of the most critical elements for any healthy exchange environment, and the news that these preparations may be diligently underway strongly reinforces the widespread belief that Iraq is strategically positioning itself for much larger, structural, financial steps in the near future. Even those who generally maintain a skeptical or cautious stance concede that meticulous liquidity planning is a definitive sign of responsible, long-term financial management. a goal Iraq has been persistently working to achieve over the past decade. Transparency is a theme intrinsically linked to the ISO certification process, and its importance cannot be overstated in understanding Iraq's long-term financial trajectory. For any central bank to gain and maintain the trust and respect of the global financial stage, transparency is non-negotiable, particularly in matters of exchange rate clarity, thorough digital auditing, and precise transaction accuracy. Supporters argue that with the sophisticated modernized systems now reported to be in place, Iraq is demonstrably moving toward a more accountable, trackable, and globally compliant banking structure. This effort serves to reassure powerful international partners and simultaneously provides clearer and more reliable processes for every individual interacting with the banking system. The ability to accurately verify and efficiently monitor transactions and potential exchange rate movement through regulated, auditable systems is viewed as an immense advantage, especially for a nation actively engaged in the process of rebuilding its overall financial credibility. Many within the IQD community interpret these measurable transparency improvements as one of the strongest signs that Iraq is entering a new, crucial phase of economic maturity, believing that such foundational progress is an absolute prerequisite before any major currency-related actions could responsibly be taken. The commitment to clarity helps build essential trust both domestically and internationally. The topic of digital integration also plays an enormous role in the significance of this update. Globally, nations are rapidly transitioning towards sophisticated digital banking platforms, automated verification processes, and highly secure electronic settlement systems. Iraq has reportedly been investing heavily and strategically in these precise areas, and supporters of Frank 26's commentary believe this effort aligns perfectly with the milestone of the ISO certification. Advanced digital systems are essential as they enable banks to process vast numbers of transactions at high speed, drastically minimize human error, significantly limit the opportunity for financial fraud, and allow for efficient, reliable operation with major international institutions. This level of technological modernization is absolutely fundamental for any nation that is preparing to engage more fully and effectively in the complex arena of global finance. For dinar holders, the progress in digital integration is frequently viewed as a foundational requirement for any future exchange functionality, particularly if they anticipate faster processing times, smoother and more secure transactions, and clearer communication from the financial institutions involved. As these crucial systems continue their systematic upgrade, the community's confidence grows that Iraq is meaningfully and measurably aligning its processes with the established global financial norms, paving the way for future readiness. International readiness forms another important and compelling layer of this entire narrative. When a country's internal systems successfully align with established global standards, powerful international entities, including global investors, major financial institutions, and vital trade partners, naturally exhibit a far greater willingness to engage in commerce. Supporters believe that the ISO milestone is a clear, deliberate message to the global market. Iraq is positioning itself to become a more dependable, stable, and deeply integrated economic participant. This is critically important for a nation whose economic revitalization relies heavily on attracting foreign direct investment, establishing robust trade relationships, and ensuring seamless international cooperation. When Iraq makes measurable strides in strengthening its financial credibility, it strategically positions itself for improved global transactions and sustainable, long-term economic growth. For the IQD community, the idea of Iraq securing a more respected and functional global position strongly fuels the speculation about potential future currency adjustments. Whether or not any exchange rate changes happen in the near future, the broader economic context appears to be firmly trending in a direction that encourages essential modernization, builds necessary confidence, and promotes deeper international engagement, which is beneficial regardless of immediate currency actions. A significant talking point drawn from the update is the established relationship between Iraq's institutional progress and its ambitious long-term financial roadmap. Supporters of the latest information point out that Iraq has been committed to various national strategies that explicitly prioritize fundamental economic diversification, comprehensive banking reform, and a complete digital transformation of its systems. These extensive national strategies are intrinsically structured to be rolled out gradually and sequentially, with numerous major milestones planned out between the present time and the coming years. The fact that the reported ISO progress aligns so neatly with these larger, overarching national goals is a key reason why observers are paying such close, sustained attention. If Iraq is demonstrably following a deliberate and well-defined sequence of steps, then major transitions, whether they are digital, economic, or financial in nature, may logically be part of a much larger, highly coordinated national effort. Proponents firmly believe that the central bank is executing precisely what is necessary to prepare the economy for future expansion, greater stability, and long-term modernization. Even those who maintain a degree of skepticism cannot deny the tangible evidence that Iraq is continuously taking steps forward. And this latest, verifiable milestone is an undeniable component of that sustained and continuing forward movement, demonstrating methodical preparation. Across all various online channels, personal reactions to this news have been widely shared, and the community's overall enthusiasm has spiked dramatically. Discussions are now richly filled with theoretical scenarios, excited anticipation, and high expectations as people meticulously attempt to integrate this new update into the larger, evolving financial picture. Some believe this marks the most significant moment of structural progress they have observed in a very long time, pointing to the external, global validation of an ISO certification as an exceptionally powerful sign of readiness. Others responsibly encourage the community to remain entirely grounded, stressing that patience remains essential and that official, public announcements from recognized authorities carry far more weight than any ongoing speculation. Regardless of individual opinions, the overall energy within the community has clearly and noticeably shifted. People are now analyzing and discussing tangible, verifiable milestones, significant system upgrades, and measurable structural readiness within Iraq, rather than simply reviewing unverified rumors. This potent combination of genuine excitement tempered by necessary caution has created one of the most active and engaged conversations the community has seen in many months, keeping everyone closely tuned to official channels for upcoming developments and confirmations. The discussion has moved from abstract possibility to the practical reality of financial reform. Security is another highly important dimension of the conversation surrounding the ISO milestone. Modern global banking systems are entirely dependent on highly robust and secure digital frameworks, and Iraq has reportedly been making substantial, continuous investments in cybersecurity, fraud prevention technologies, and sophisticated financial system monitoring. Supporters believe that these comprehensive security upgrades are absolutely essential, asserting that no country can effectively or reliably engage with international banks unless its systems can completely protect both domestic and foreign transactions from compromise. The ISO milestone, in part, represents an external acknowledgement that Iraq is treating these immense responsibilities with the utmost seriousness. When a financial system is demonstrably secure, international partners feel significantly more comfortable supporting transactions, approving high-volume exchanges, and actively participating in financial operations. For Dinar holders, the direct implication of enhanced security is that any future exchange processes, should they occur, would be inherently safer, more structured, and ultimately more reliable. This focus on verifiable security is likely one of the primary reasons why the ISO discussion is being taken so seriously and analytically throughout the entire community, providing a foundation of trust that was previously lacking. Another persistent theme in the latest update is the concept of internal testing. Supporters maintain that Iraq is not only implementing new systems, but is also conducting ongoing, rigorous internal evaluations of its financial systems to guarantee that everything is functioning correctly and compliant before taking any further public steps. These crucial internal tests are standard procedure in any major financial transition, as they allow banks to preemptively identify potential vulnerabilities, verify the integrity of complex digital systems, and ensure full compliance with established international norms. Supporters interpret this intensive internal testing as a clear sign of responsible and methodical preparation, directly refuting any perception of random or rushed decision-making in the context of exchange rate speculation. This commitment to methodical internal review strongly reinforces the belief that Iraq is moving through a structured, deliberate process, specifically designed to minimize significant mistakes and maximize long-term stability. For the most long-time dinar holders who have patiently followed Iraq's financial journey for years, the idea that thorough internal testing may be actively underway is seen as a highly encouraging indication of genuine, irreversible forward momentum and seriousness of intent, providing reassurance that the process is being managed professionally. The discussion surrounding structured exchanges is also gaining significant traction once again. In most sophisticated financial environments globally, a structured exchange process is implemented to ensure that individuals can exchange their currency in a secure, highly organized, and fully legally compliant manner. Supporters of Frank 26's commentary believe that if Iraq ever transitions to a new exchange rate environment, such structured processes would most certainly be utilized to manage the transition with the greatest possible efficiency. Structured systems provide essential clarity, drastically reduce public confusion, and ensure that banks follow approved, verified steps to maintain both transparency and complete compliance. For the IQD community, the concept of structured exchanges has always been a central part of the overall discussion, and this new ISO update has brought the topic sharply back into focus. People are actively hoping for clearer procedures and published guidelines, and this new milestone provides a solid reason to believe that those necessary processes may be significantly closer to being finalized. While absolutely no official public instructions have been released, the simple possibility of increased organization and structure has revived important conversations about what the future exchange steps could practically look like for individual holders. A tremendously important element of this entire update is the critical emphasis placed on verifying all information. With excitement naturally growing rapidly, both supporters and independent analysts are collectively encouraging all dinar holders to remain highly cautious and to absolutely avoid responding to unofficial codes, suspicious private offers, or any unverified instructions. The community has unfortunately seen numerous fraudulent schemes in the past, and this renewed excitement will inevitably and unfortunately invite more attempts at misinformation and outright scamming. This is why proponents are stressing the utmost importance of sticking strictly to official, recognized communication channels and waiting only for public announcements from recognized governmental authorities. Verification is the essential key to ensuring personal safety and financial security, especially during periods of significantly heightened speculation and community activity. The better the community understands the necessity of verification, the better prepared they will be to navigate any future changes responsibly and securely. This message of caution is absolutely crucial because heightened excitement can often tragically overshadow the need for proper caution, and community leaders are determined to ensure that holders remain safe and protected as complex conversations about the future continue to evolve. Another constant and ongoing topic is how global investors are likely to react to Iraq's sustained financial progress. When a country clearly demonstrates that it is actively improving its core financial systems and aligning itself with established international standards, serious investors universally take notice. For Iraq, this heightened credibility could lead to a significant increase in foreign investment across vital sectors like energy, large-scale infrastructure projects, emerging technology industries, and more diversified economic ventures. Supporters believe that the ISO milestone unequivocally sends a message to the world that Iraq is working diligently and seriously to establish a fundamentally more transparent and reliable financial environment. Over time, this increased credibility is expected to attract significantly greater foreign investment, thereby strengthening the national economy and creating a much more stable and opportunity-rich financial landscape for dinar holders. The health and vibrancy of Iraq's economy are incredibly important. A stable and growing economy almost always leads to stronger currency performance, improved financial confidence, and vastly greater opportunities for sustained international engagement and trade. As a result, this heightened attention from the sophisticated global investor community naturally becomes an integral part of the broader conversation surrounding Iraq's financial future and its potential new economic direction. A final, yet equally important, key takeaway from this extensive update is the crucial emphasis on long-term readiness. While it's true that some members of the community are understandably hoping for very swift movement, others are quick to point out that Iraq has been systematically and steadily preparing for future financial transitions for several years. This includes a multitude of efforts covering economic diversification, comprehensive banking reform, wholesale digital modernization, and essential regulatory upgrades. Supporters persuasively argue that these long-term, sustained efforts demonstrate responsibility, discipline, and an exceptionally strong desire to establish a completely stable and sustainable financial future. Whether or not significant exchange rate changes occur sooner or later, Iraq's long-term institutional progress is undeniable and measurable. Many people closely following the situation believe the country is moving along the correct path, and that each new milestone brings Iraq measurably closer to successfully reaching its broader, stated financial goals. In this broader context, the ISO milestone is interpreted not just as an achievement in isolation, but as a clear and fundamental part of a much larger, purposeful financial transformation currently underway within the nation's entire economic structure. This sustained effort builds trust and anticipates future needs. As this report concludes, the overriding message becomes remarkably clear. Iraq is demonstrably engaged in a significant financial transformation, and the ISO milestone represents another necessary and important step in that complex, ongoing journey. While it remains impossible for anyone to definitively predict exactly when or how future financial developments will fully unfold, the verifiable progress being made is real and demonstrably measurable. Supporters of Frank 26's commentary strongly believe these developments are clear signs that Iraq is purposefully moving toward greater economic strength, increased financial stability, and significantly enhanced international recognition. Whether you are a longtime dinar holder or someone newly introduced to the community, this moment provides a crucial opportunity to objectively reassess Iraq's overall direction and carefully consider how these major milestones might genuinely shape the nation's future. The comprehensive story of Iraq's financial journey is far from over, and each new verifiable development adds another essential piece to the overall puzzle. The most important actions for all involved now are to remain diligently informed, to exercise disciplined patience, and to maintain a vigilant watch on official announcements as Iraq continues its challenging but steady path toward full financial modernization and expanded global connection. This requires a balanced approach that embraces the reality of the progress while respecting the necessary time for institutional change. Finally, as this update wraps up, dinar holders are provided with a crucial reminder that this moment, while highly significant, is not the final conclusion. The ISO milestone is an important, internationally recognized achievement that unequivocally signals forward positive movement. but the full journey is still ongoing. Supporters maintain that Iraq has been diligently laying a strong, secure foundation for future financial changes. And this latest milestone serves as one more compelling sign that the country is strategically preparing itself for a stronger, more respected financial role on the world stage. As always, viewers are encouraged to engage responsibly, to actively avoid falling prey to misinformation, and to stay connected only to reliable, verified updates. The future may indeed hold exciting new possibilities, and the single most important step now is to stay aware, remain fully prepared, and continue following Iraq's progress with a healthy and necessary balance of both hope and caution. The path ahead will inevitably bring new developments, new confirmations, and new opportunities for the community to analyze, understand, and respond to with clarity and professional confidence.